Today I'm here with my mum in Old Cairo and we are visiting the Hanging Church, the Coptic Museum, the Babylonian and Roman fortresses. I hope you guys enjoy. So today we have a pretty big vlog for you with loads to see. And after jumping in an Uber for £2.20, today we drove to Old Cairo, seeing a new aquifer complex on the way. After a quick drive-by tour, we arrived at the Hanging Church complex. Why is it called the Hanging Church? Well, we'll get to that when we get there. But the entire complex is built on top of an ancient Roman barracks, which is also built on an ancient Babylonian trading port. The existence of this trading port is corroborated by Greek accounts that the Babylonians attempted to cut a canal between the Nile Delta and the Red Sea. This was done around 600 BC and was completed by the Persian king Darius over 100 years later. Darius was eventually expelled by Pharaoh Necho II, and fast forward to 112 AD, during the Roman occupation of Egypt, Emperor Trajan reopened the canal, and in 300 AD his successor Diocletian built the vast majority of the fortress we see here today. If we were to follow the Holy Family's footsteps escaping Herod, we may have found that they sought refuge in the Roman fortress of Babylon. After the fortress was rebuilt under Emperor Diocletian and the Roman persecution of Christians ended, the Hanging Church was built, dedicated to St. Mary, St. George and St. John the Baptist. The church in its current form was completed in the 9th century and is literally suspended between two of the Roman towers. Next to the Hanging Church, you'll find a cathedral dedicated to a very famous Roman soldier, known for killing a dragon and was stationed at the Babylonian fortress in the 4th century. St. George, the patron saint of England, was amongst a number of Roman soldiers martyred at the Babylonian fortress for their faith in Christianity. St. George was imprisoned and tortured at the Babylonian fortress before being sent to Israel. On top of the alleged Roman relics from St. George, the Greek Orthodox Cathedral was built. So this is the Coptic Museum, which is unbelievable. It's amazing, and it's right next to the Hanging Church, which is built on the Babylonian fortress. The Coptic Museum has a number of artifacts on display from the 3rd century onwards. A lot of these artifacts show the transition from the worship of pagan gods from the Roman fortress to Christianity. The Romans spent a lot of money on Cairo to try and prevent Egyptians from converting to Christianity, and this can be seen in the number of carvings excavated from the Babylonian fortress, dating from between the 3rd and 4th centuries, whilst they were still persecuting Christians. The Roman pantheon of gods were appropriated from the ancient Greco-Egyptian gods, but when the Egyptians heard that a man from Galilee, with the same royal bloodline that escaped Egypt with Moses, was divinely conceived, incarnated, and then rose from the dead after being executed, in a very similar vein to the story of Osiris and Horus, Christianity spread faster throughout Egypt than any other part of the Roman Empire, posing a huge threat to Pax Romana. After 300 years of persecuting Christians across the empire, Emperor Constantine eventually converted to Christianity in the 4th century, and the Roman Empire continued on for another 1,000 years. But the persecution of Coptic Christians continued throughout the entire period. If you'd like to learn more, I've barely scratched the surface of what the Coptic Museum has to offer, so feel free to come down and see it for yourself. But that's everything from me today. I hope you enjoyed it.